Hey there, everybody. Getting started on a fairly long road trip, headed about a little over 1,000 miles through Louisiana, through the central part of Arkansas. Then I'm going to come back down, make a brief clip through Tennessee, and then back down to Louisiana via Mississippi. So I'm going to be documenting some charging experiences along the way. And let you know how the road trip goes. So stay tuned for my experience on this trip. If you like these videos, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the notification button, so when something does get recorded, you'll get a notification. All right, here we go. Okay, so here is the trip we are currently on. You can see that we are going through 4 states, just really touching on Tennessee. I'll show you that in a sec. But we left Covington, we go through Baton Rouge, up to Alexandria, Pineville area in Louisiana, up to Shreveport, Bossier City, up to an area just north of Bradley, Arkansas, up through Little Rock, Hot Springs and Little Rock, over to Searcy. Then from Searcy, heading over towards Memphis. And then once I get to Memphis, head south all the way back through Jackson, down back to Covington. Pay no attention to these charging times and stops shown. This is an early plan. I've refined it since then. So, but yeah, we're just touching in Tennessee, but that's 4 states, a little over 1,000 miles. And it's quite a journey. See you on the road. All right, so we arrived at our destination last night. Made it from Covington over to Pineville, Louisiana. Didn't have to stop, because it's only like 100 something, like 880 miles, something like that. But so I picked up a few 110 level 1 electrons overnight to get us get as many electrons as we can. And so next we're headed up towards Natchitoches. We're going to stop and do use the Magic Dock at one of the Tesla charging stations for the first time. This will be my first time doing that, so excited to try that. That's where we're going to stop for our one charging stop on the way up to southern Arkansas. See you on the road. All right, here we are in Natchitoches, Louisiana. We got plugged in using the Magic Dock here at the Tesla supercharger site, which is completely empty. Great thing about owning an EV in Louisiana is not crowded at all at the charging stations. So took me a second to figure out the Magic Dock and using the Tesla app. First time I had to add some billing information and all that, but got it done. Man, fast charging too, 150 kilowatts just right off the bat, just boom, like that. So so we left, as I mentioned before, we left Covington, Louisiana. We stopped last night in Pineville, so we didn't have to charge all that way. And so this is the first charge on this trip, and I'll have to leave the distance, but between Covington and Natchitoches, it has to be a 3-hour, so it's got to be over 200 miles, maybe 250, I'm not sure. But anyway, things are going well here. This is nice, nice and clean, and I don't have to be at a Walmart. Oh my gosh. We're actually at a gas station, so I can go in there, get some food, go to the bathroom, don't have to walk around Walmart. Goodness. So anyway, all is well so far. Back on the road after this stop, and headed up to southern Arkansas. All right, we have arrived at our 4th stop, which is just north of Bradley, Arkansas. No problem getting here. Great stop in Natchitoches, and then made a quick stop in Bossier, and now we are here for a couple of days. Have a RV plug, NEMA 1450, over on the other side of the house, so figure I'll wait until tomorrow when the solar panels are cranking, plug into that, get me some emission-free juice, and then be ready to take off to head further north into really northwest Arkansas, up to Searcy. So trip's going great. Vehicle's performing perfectly. and you know, just a great experience. So see y'all on the road. I will be getting out of here early Sunday morning, so that's about, I don't know, 36, 40 hours from now. So yeah, that's it. Here I am. Back on the road, going through Arkansas, headed up towards Searcy, and picked up some juice at the place I was staying, just north of Bradley, Arkansas. So all good, leaving at 100%, and cruising along, about to make my way up to kind of more northeastern Arkansas. And expecting to stop one time to charge. I don't really have to, distance-wise. I got plenty of range, but I don't want to show up with, you know, 8% battery. I'd prefer to, you know, be at around, you know, 30, 40 something percent, just in case, you know, we want to move around while we're there in Searcy. So anyway, that's where I am, and I'll stop. I'll check in at the Electrify America station in Little Rock, Arkansas. Alrighty, so I have arrived in Little Rock and made it to the Electrify America station. It's kind of hard to find in this Walmart parking lot, but I found it. And then plugged in and got up, you know, right up to 100 kW. So not terrible, not great, but I'm at 50% battery. So again, I didn't have to stop to make it to my destination, but I'd rather not get there with, you know, less than 20% battery. So, great drive, no problems at all. Beautiful countryside, and just about to go through Little Rock on up to Searcy. You know, people that talk about the difficulty of road trips in EVs got to consider too. Think about where you're staying along the way, right? So, you know, I stayed one night with friends in Pineville, and we were able to plug into 110 there. Picked up about 12 or 13%, something like that overnight. But then, where we stayed last couple of nights, they had an RV plug there for it's a duck hunting camp, and so they had our RV plugs there. So a NEMA 1450, I was able to use my mobile charger and get 100% charge, you know, overnight, easy. So this is actually only my second stop since I left Covington, Louisiana, and here I am in Little Rock, and this is my second charging stop for this road trip. Just because of the places I've stayed have had, you know, options for me. So something to consider as you think about, you know, maybe your next vehicle being an EV. Keep in mind, you know, you don't just have to use DC fast chargers when you travel. A lot of hotels have them now. A lot of restaurants are starting to put them in. And then of course, friends and family. If you don't, you got to ask them. You can plug in, but assuming they're going to say yes, just plug in and pick up a few percent while you're there. So. I will check in once I get to Searcy, and see you on the road. All right, made it through all my work stuff, and was lucky enough to be able to mix in some family visits there in Searcy, Arkansas. And as mentioned before, I was able to, where I stayed, I was able to charge and got up to 100% before I left Searcy, so I didn't even have to charge in Searcy. Although I will say, I located and added another charging station to PlugShare, because while I was out working in Searcy, I saw it and I asked the guy about it, and he said, yeah, it's available for use. It's just a NEMA 1450 plug, but now it's in the system, and so those that are going through that area have yet another option. So anyway, was able to get everything done in Searcy, and so now headed back home to Covington via Memphis, and then planning to stop in Grenada, and then headed down, you know, on down 55 through Jackson, probably stop in Jackson as well to charge up, and then head on down to Louisiana, back home to Covington. So on the road, feeling good. Beautiful weather, couldn't ask for better weather. So those are great conditions for an awesome road trip, whether you're in an EV or whatever. So I will check in Grenada, Mississippi. Arrived at my charger in Grenada, Mississippi. Not sure how they say it here. But both parking spots here were iced when I arrived, but they moved it quickly, so that was nice. There was a Rivian sitting here. I thought maybe he or she had gone in to go find somebody to move it, but they actually were, they just drove away. They were apparently meeting somebody here for lunch. So anyway, nice spot here at Kirk Toyota in Grenada. Able to connect up no problem with the charge point here. 62.5 kW, not the fastest in the world, but you know, central Mississippi, northern and central Mississippi is not a bastion of EV charging as of yet. Panicked for a second, didn't see it in plug charge, but realized I had the high dealerships filter turned off, so it was there and the reviews were decent, so I was able to get here, and I'm doing pretty well at 55 kW, so that's refreshing to see. Next stop will be Jackson, so I can make the final push home. Jackson's not that far, it's only like 120 miles. But if I want to make it between Jackson and Covington, I've got to boost up there and then be ready to roll. So, all good. Massive headwinds once I turn south after going through Memphis. Really bad headwinds, really ate into my efficiency, but had plenty to get here, and it all worked out. Got some coffee inside, restrooms inside, they got snacks and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thanks to Kirk Toyota, and I'll be on my way here shortly, and I'll check in Jackson. Arrived in Jackson area, Ridgeland, Mississippi. Hitting up the old Entergy charger here. Everything looking good, and you know, the wind continues. My goodness, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but I heard on the news actually that the wind was topping out at 40 miles an hour from the south, and I'm headed south. So that's a big hit to the efficiency, but so far so good. One last leg. This is my last leg on to Covington. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, because the last charger I forgot to mention, yeah, it had a bathroom and it had a spot you could sit and watch TV, but zero food around it. So it's 3 o'clock. I hadn't had lunch yet, so going to grab some grub. So anyway, all good here. I'll check in once I get home and show you all of the ins and outs of the trip. Keep those electrons flowing. All right, so I'm gonna do my wrap up as I approach the house. I'm tired and I'm ready to just chill this evening. It's been a long drive today from Searcy, Arkansas, all the way back to the New Orleans area. So what a trip, huh? A little over 1,000 miles. I think it's 1,065 or something like that. It's been great. A couple of key learnings that I encountered on this trip. And by the way, I'm on Blue Cruise, hands-free, and I'm not really looking at the camera, so all good on the safety front. So one of the key learnings again that I covered was, you know, don't forget that you can charge where you're staying. So I stayed in several places during this trip, and all of those places I was at least able to capture some level 1 charging, in some cases level 2, so that you know, take that into account when you're planning a trip, because I mean, there's really no reason not to plug in, especially to a level 1 at someone's house where you're staying, finding hotels that have level 1 chargers, and I'm sorry, level 2 chargers, and then of course restaurants as you go around wherever you're going. So those are certainly options. You know, just a reminder that, you know, having an EV is a different way to travel. It is, you know, definitely requires a little more planning and a little more thinking through, you know, your route and all that kind of good stuff.
some people don't like that, right? I talked to one guy today. He said, look, that wouldn't work for me because when we go on vacation, we just go. We don't have a plan. And I get that. That's great. I mean, I love those kind of vacations. But when you're doing it in an EV, you know, that's a little more limiting for now. Things will get better as infrastructure's installed across the nation as that continues. So, great trip. Learned a lot. I always do. The car performed great. The chargers all did great. No issues. Of course, they could always be faster. I'd love them to be faster. But again, that's something that's coming in the future. So, enjoyed sharing all this with you. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And as I mentioned at the outset, if you like these road trip videos and my commentary on EVs, feel free to like and subscribe, and that way you'll hit the notification bell so you'll always see when I post a new video. Until next time, until next trip, keep those electrons flowing, and I'll see you on the road.